Alright, so I had to scramble things together a little bit because I got distracted leading up to today, but, well, here we are. And it's time to try out something a bit new. By a bit new, I mean this came out a couple days ago. Now, this may look a little weird, but this is Identifile. How this works is you play as this cursor you see on screen right now. See these circles I'm making? That's how I'm going to be fighting, or at least if I use this cursor in particular. What you're doing in Identifile is you're going through a file system fighting viruses as the system in question's cursor, which has been endowed with powers to face off against all of the viruses in question. That's all there is to it, really. There's nothing too complicated going on here. As you can see, I've unlocked only a couple of them, the clicking cursor and the selection cursor, other than the classic circling one. You can unlock quite a few other options, including being able to have a random button, and you can set your seed as you see fit. You'll also pick up widgets that give you various bonuses, like starting with extra attack or starting with a random EXE. We'll go with the random EXE so you guys get to see more of them. You can also get cosmetic cursors and trails and such. We won't worry about any of that right now. Modifiers, once you get past F drive, you can start having your own modifiers for things to make it a little more interesting. Let's go ahead and try the clicking cursor out. And we got the Laser Halo as our free EXE. Summons 5 rotating beams of light that deal damage on contact. So if I right-click my mouse, it'll activate the EXE. It has 2 charges, though, so I'm not going to be wasting them. It looks like we are down a heart, which is interesting. It's cut into quarters for some reason. Whenever you click on one with a skull, that's when you fight the viruses. In this particular case, we just click them to death. You click them to death, and you identify them. You can hold for auto-clicking, as you saw, but the auto-clicking is a lot slower, so I'm just gonna mash them to death, because that's a lot more effective. You clean up all the files, and you get those little coins there. And you can occasionally get keys and other odds and ends that will benefit you along the way. Now we're gonna kind of avoid viruses for a moment here and go grab all of the things that give us money, because otherwise I'm going to forget that they're there. Speaking of, let's hit the sacrifice. Sacrifice 1 heart for a random chunk of coins. Sure. We now only have 1 heart, but we got a bunch of money out of it. Now take note that there are some of these with multiple skulls, including 3 skull files. You're gonna want to avoid those till you get a bit stronger, usually. There's also zip bombs. For those who are used to old operations, you may actually fully know what a zip bomb is. They sure do exist here, and they're upsetting to deal with. Okay, so I could turn my cursor into a flaming cursor for 10 seconds and deal contact damage. Let's go ahead and swap to that. We can come back and grab our laser halo later. Now, it's important to know that otherwise, other than things like overheat, there is no contact damage. The only way you take damage in this game is if you are hit by something that's highlighted in red. Usually a projectile or an actual attack of some kind, instead of just bumping into a virus. So you got some more leeway than you might expect there. Let's go ahead and deal with the zip bomb. Zip bombs behave as if they're mimics in this game. And of course you got your Trojans and things like that running about. Thankfully that laser doesn't technically hit where she's standing, so I can kind of shenanigan that a little bit. Let's get rid of the Trojan if I can. Okay. The zip bombs are upsetting because they drop, well, you know, bombs everywhere. Kind of a problem. Okay, no, the laser does hit where she's standing if you're not precise enough. Okay. That's good to know. The lasers really do need to go, though. They are a problem. Especially when there's 2 of them. I don't dare go for it because I'm down to half a heart already. I may have been a little bit greedy going for the zip bomb in this position. Yep, I died. I shouldn't have went for it. That was greedy on my part. But the thing is, with two of them there wasn't much I could do. Because anytime I went for one, the other would activate. So I had to go while one was spinning, no matter what I looked at there. That's why you don't take needless risks. But as you can see, it's very quick to get right back in. There's a shop there, but we have no money right now. We'll just have to remember that that shop's there and come back once we've cleaned up some files. Now, since I turned off the computer yesterday, Windows updated, so if anything's broken, blame Windows. It will almost certainly be Windows' fault. And you also would have seen the desktop for a second there, as I was clicked away, because I have to desktop capture this game. Because game capture does a funny, in that it shows upside down. It's another one of those. There's something with Godot engine games, it seems, that makes them capture upside down. Very odd. Our free thing is the voodoo cursor. Spawn a decoy that has 2 hearts. Decoy takes your damage instead. Go ahead and swap for the gravitation orb. Sounds like it'll be fun. And we're just not gonna touch the zip bomb until we go get some other stuff first this time. This guy can't attack us because we're on his head. These guys with the knives are actually, like, very dangerous. Because they throw a lot of knives at once. The knives, thankfully, aren't that fast, so as long as you're paying attention, you'll be fine. But usually it's easy to get distracted by something else and just get clipped by one. Yeah, that's most of the cycle for this game, is just click on things, get all the stuff you can, and then potentially die to viruses somewhere. Where was that shop again? You can also look over here to find the thing you were looking for. Okay, over here in Incomplete was where the shop was. We can only afford the firewall to get a shield. Calculator. Temporarily increase combo capacity by the number of viruses in combat. Or just a damage aura entirely. I do want that damage aura. And the shopkeeper will just snark at you the entire time. Okay, that does hit on top of itself. I wasn't sure. There went our extra health there. Now, it's worth noting that the higher your combo goes, the more damage you'll deal. So you do want to generate as high a combo as you can possibly do. Wasn't there another... Yeah, there's another one skull in here. We also found the boss in there. Not gonna lie, I expected to have died to the boss with the clicker, not to have died just in general. But, you know, things happen. Is there only 3s? No, there's a 2 right here. We'll keep going in order for the moment. There we go. I did identify him before he managed to move. Now he's got friends, and that's a problem. We don't want our enemies to have friends. That's not how that's supposed to work. Now, I'm pretty sure you can use an auto-clicker for this if you really wanted to. In fact, this mouse does have, like, a click 5 times button. Oh, yeah, that does work. Okay. I'm not gonna use that because that would be a little too easy, but it's interesting to know that that does work. So if you really want to just cheat the system, you could just auto-clicker your way to victory, I guess. If I waited too long again. Get a little smile on their faces when the knives are flying, by the way. Very upsetting. Look at all those knives. This is why these guys can be an issue, is when there's like a bunch of them on screen. The area just starts filling with pain. Now, note the fact that they don't get highlighted in red, though, till they start flying. So when they're stationary, I think they're safe. As safe as knives ever get, you know? There we go. We've identified all those viruses. And we get a reward. Extortion Core. Chance to gain a coin on hit. We do get a lot of individual hits, so this would be good for getting lots of money. Hyper Zap. Your first combo zaps every enemy, dealing equal damage. Initiator. Doubles your damage of on the first combo. We'll take the Extortion Core so we can actually afford things at the shops. There's something I've noticed in this game is money is actually, like, surprisingly hard to keep a good amount of. So our only choices here are a 3 skull or a zip bomb. So we'll go ahead and do a 3 skull. And we got a diva again. Let's see about just getting rid of her. Okay, the gravity bomb doesn't actually do any damage, so that's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping it would hurt them. So I think the gravity bomb would be better for, like, the selector box cursor, because it would do damage in an area around itself, and you just drop the bomb on your own head at that point, pretty much. There we go. Now, it's worth noting that the chance to get money is not very high, but it's better than no chance at all. Let's go ahead and get that damage aura, because now we just passively deal damage in this circle around the cursor, which will make the gravity bomb more useful as well. So I do think for the zip bomb, I want to go get that voodoo cursor back. Yeah, so far it's not too bad. We don't need it for this part. Some of these have many waves in them, though. I don't think the voodoo cursor is going to matter for a boss fight, though. No, that was actually a very easy zip bomb to deal with, and we got another health potion to grab out of it. Now, let's do the challenge, then. Actually, no. There is another 3 skull first. Do it in order. That's a lot of horses. All the king's horses and all the king's men want to rip this cursor a new one. Nope. It starts to get a little hard to keep dodging these when there's that many of them. Problem is, these guys don't target necessarily. So I don't think the voodoo cursor is actually going to do anything here. I don't know why I bothered placing it. And we're down to half a heart, so I need to play it slow and safe against the horses now. Which is a shame, is you can just rush these down as I demonstrated. Just not when you're this low on health. It was just money. Ugh. Yeah, there was no healing in this shop. There is one shield, though, so we'll take that. As much as I would love to have the calculator, we need that shield so we don't just die again. Other than the challenge, we don't have anything other than the boss, though, so let's do the challenge. This again, huh? Okay. Let the horses have their moment. Chip a good chunk off of that one. Keep an eye on the ball. I want that one dead because he's the one I already hurt. Go for the guaranteed kill and all that, you know? I, for some reason, didn't think he was going to land in that exact spot. But thankfully, they only do half a heart, so we have half our shield left. And hopefully, we'll get another healing potion out of him here. So we can use both of the ones we know about. before the boss. He's so close to dead. I'm kind of gonna try to stay near him to use the damage aura on him. Not enough, though. There we go. And of course, if you thought it was over at that point, well, fool that you are at that point. There we go. Get rid of that guy. Fortunately, he's sitting on top of the diva, so that's a bit of an issue. Get rid of that one. Double up as much as I can. Let's get rid of the diva, though, before she can fire her laser off too much. Or not. I had to panic out of there because otherwise the knives would have been the end of me. The knives or the laser, one of the two would have killed me. We're probably not out of the woods yet. Yeah. Go, Voodoo Cursor. Moai heads jump up and down. They'll crush anything they land on. So you want to be mindful of that. They don't do anything else, though. They just jump. So, as long as you're not there when they land, you're golden. That's Moai head. Now, I would assume these all equate to real-world viruses, and obviously I only know of some of them. And gone. Hey, we got the identifying cursor now, too. Who for having, I assume, cleared that 100. But we did get a health potion. And a bunch of money, potentially. Ooh. Amplifier gives 20% more crit damage, 20% more crit rate with the overclocker, or 1 more combo capacity, because your combo does have a cap. We're gonna go ahead and take the crit rate, though. I think the crit rate's a good idea. Just because it'll theoretically magnify our damage across the board here. Unfortunately, purely theoretically, but you know. Grab the gravitational orb. Back because the Voodoo Cursor's out of juice. I could have swore there's the health potion. Okay, so we're back to full health for fighting the boss, so that's not terrible. We didn't have enough for the remaining item there. Meet the worm. As you know, there's always got to be a worm boss. Those yellow numbers are, as you might imagine, the critical hits kicking in. Now, you gotta be careful at this part because he's really fast. And there will be a phase as this goes along where he's going to target you when he's charging. So you're gonna have to be able to move your cursor real quick to keep away from him. Or he will just sit on you. And as much as some people might enjoy that idea, let me tell you, it's not a good plan. Hey, we got the crit rate widget. Probably for getting a certain amount of crits. Our damage output really sucks right now, so we're gonna be in this fight for a little while. But you'll notice I'm dealing damage for all of his segments, so whenever he's parked like that, we can actually do a lot. He's still not targeting yet. Oh yeah, he also does this bit. You want to be careful about this, because if you stay on him too long like I just did there, you will get hit. And I got clipped on the way back in, too. God damn it. Because you need to kind of go to the center before he gets too far out, or you're going to have a rough time getting away from him. Yep, now he's targeting. Which is awful because the missiles were still in play at that point, so we were SOL on that one. This is actually the first time I've had a problem with that boss, but this is also my first time using the clicking cursor. Other than the run you saw that didn't go anywhere. So, identifying cursor, how do you work? Increase draw length, combo capacity. Oh, okay, you draw circles with this one as well. Okay. Or you have the selection box, which just occasionally will make a selector box appear and deal damage. So we got a 10% bonus crit rate widget. Go ahead and take the extra attack for the selector box, because its attack's not that great. Yeah, you know what? We actually have more health than I'm used to, so we'll go ahead and sacrifice one for some coins. And there's also mini-games like this aiming mini-game that'll pop up. Just click circles as fast as you can. It seems to care more about the amount of targets you click than the accuracy with which you click. Now, it does care about accuracy a bit, though. You don't want to just fumble and just, like, mash your way to victory, as far as I can tell. This is worse than I did when I did this before. Best I've done was like 65. We got the floppy disk. Fires floppy disks in a spiral. So remember, it's more than just a save icon for you kids out there. Just to store stuff in there. Now, obviously, we're gonna have a lot of similar problems with this compared to the clicker, except we have a little bit of room to work with here. And I don't have to be mashing click the whole time it's automatic. So I can focus more on moving the cursor around. We got a combo extender, which makes your combos last longer, and a extra half a heart of max health. So we'll take both of those. You know what, we'll take the shield too. We'll just buy out that shop, because we actually got a lot of money. And we'll just head into not a virus, because that's always a trustworthy statement. Anytime someone tells you something is not a virus, that's clearly true, and you should believe that. Also, never believe anything of that sort at all. Always check anything you receive. Don't just blindly click on links, or you are going to be one of those people you hear about on the internet who is today's sucker. So don't do that. Nobody wants to be a sucker. Well, actually, based on things I've seen on the internet, let me not quite make a global statement about that, but, you know, that's a whole different situation. So the key. I have not found too many uses for keys yet. Like, I know of a specific thing that works with keys, but other than that, I don't know anything about these keys yet. Let's go ahead and fight the viruses that are over here. Yeah, let's just go ahead and hit that 3 skull fight and get it over with. Now you notice it's a lot easier to fight the Trojans with the selector box because you can just park behind them. So even when they are about to activate, you can actually still safely attack them, compared to the clicker where you have to kind of stay a little too close. The same case will work with the divas as well, because we can kind of circle around them and still make contact. And obviously our damage output is per hit higher, though our tick rate is a little slower. I do think that the selector box is ticking faster than the auto-click speed of the clicker, though. So there's that to consider. Also, you can move these around, which is kind of fun. Okay. Just making sure things were capturing correctly after the issue before. Oh yeah, it also will give you a specific spot to click on whenever you click out of the game completely and go to resume it, so that you're ready to resume, which is pretty nice. You can't just accidentally click back in and get yourself killed or anything, which is always handy. Let's go ahead and fight the Zip Bomb. Focus on killing him this time so he doesn't just bomb me into the Stone Age if I can help it. Though he does have laser ladies with him. They're gonna cause an issue for speeding that up. There we go, you have been selected for death. And obviously, that's another advantage of the selector box, is the AoE is pretty strong. Identify 5 viruses within 5 seconds. We could get the other half of that heart. Yeah, let's take the other half of that heart. His damage has been our biggest problem. So if we just, you know, gain more health, we have less to worry about. Right? That's how that works. Got greedy there, but that's okay. I got shields. That's the downside to having the ability to attack things without necessarily touching them, though, is you start getting tempted to do stupid things, like hover near enemies. And we'll discuss what the data fragments and such are for once we finish this run, probably, because this one seems like it'll actually go somewhere, instead of just dying immediately. Hey, I've already bought you out. Alright, it's boss time again. Time to fight the worm again. Because I believe the worm is always your first boss. I think there might be some variation afterwards. I'm not sure yet. As you can see, that health bar is moving much quicker now because we have more damage on our side. And we obviously have way more health to survive his shenanigans this time, so we should be better off as well. As long as I can stay on target, we'll be through his health bar so much quicker. Yeah, we're already at the halfway point where he's going to start doing his extra moves. There we go, he's going to start spinning out now. Nope, I spun along with him a little too fast. Because that's a move you can do, is kind of spin with him when he's doing that, but you gotta match his rotation. That can be tricky to do. As long as the missiles are in a good spot, you can obviously do what I'm doing there and just kind of run him around in circles. Because he is slower than you. Not by a lot, but he is slower than you. And there you go. That's why I usually don't have trouble with him. Because he can be dealt with pretty easily as long as you don't let him have his way. Reduce size and max hearts by 50%. That seems good if you're good at dodging, not so good if you're still figuring things out. Blue screen of death. Upon death, clear all viruses on screen except bosses and revive. That seems really good. And Cloud Caller. Every 6 seconds in combat, call down a lightning strike at the closest enemy for 700% attack. So that would be 21 right now, because our attack is 3. Let's take the blue screen of death, just because a revive is always good to have. Now, when I click on this drive, we'll head to the next set of files, so you want to be ready to do that. You want to grab everything else you want first. I say this because I accidentally did that before and ended up leaving, because you cannot go back. Once you're in, you're committed. We'll go back and click that in a second. And obviously all the files and such are references to a variety of things. I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. Notepad, exe. Words fly out horizontally and in a sine wave periodically. That sounds vaguely useful. We didn't even use our floppy disk. Suppose I should make use of that. Because of course, the best way to hide your passwords is in a file named not passwords. Remember that, folks. Peak security tip right there. If you could not hear the audible wink and shaking of my head there, don't do that. That too will not work. As much as your average attacker is nowhere near as brilliant as people like to make them out to be, they're still not quite that stupid. If they've got time and access, they'll just check anyway. I think there's just the server rules thing left here. Oh wait, no, there is media. There we go. I was like, there's gotta be one I didn't go to. I'm not used to dealing with these worms still. 'Cause I only played this game for like half an hour or so last night to get a feel for it. 'Cause I didn't want to do too much with it before we could all be here. Ghost file, 10% dodge rate. We can get the shield again. We can just buy all of these things, so just give me all of the things. I watched a couple people play this between the other day when the game first came out and a little bit last night, which is what finished selling me on going for it. Like, you know what? It's just like an $8 game. Okay, fine. Like that's kind of within my purchasable threshold currently. Higher than that starts to be a lot harder to negotiate. There we go. Hey, that's the notepad. Let's actually use the floppy disk in here, huh? Bang, 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 bang. Okay, that doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does put out a lot of projectiles, which is a blessing and a curse because I can't see the enemy projectiles nearly as well when the screen is covered in nonsense happening. So, you know, benefits and negatives. You gotta be careful with things like that. I say as I'm gonna use it again anyway. That's a lot of lines. Can't tell where all the danger is. Just avoid anything that isn't me. Even if it's my own projectiles, avoid anyway. I keep timing my approaches on these guys wrong. This is when the box flickers that damage is dealt. So if you're next to them but the box didn't flicker, it doesn't accomplish anything other than you getting hurt, probably like I just did again as we were getting done there. But we did get a half a heart back, so it's as if nothing happened, really. We just made money and nothing happened. Unfortunately, we bought out the shop already and there's like nothing here other than the zip bomb. Now the zip bomb might have some healing in it, but at the very least, let's go back to where that treasure was. The one that had the notepad. This way, at least we have an AXE to attack with of some kind. Okay. Quickly responding to a thing. Oh, we don't really have a choice but to go to the zip bomb or the boss, like I was saying. So zip bomb it is. Words. That is just saying word art, word art, word art, word art, isn't it? Oh, well, that was a small zip bomb. It did have a healing potion in it, though, so it was worth it. Going to this boss with only 2 hearts isn't exactly great, but, you know. Warning. Warning. Spider boss. Spider-Man. No. Just spider. The Web Weaver. Face the power of my words, Web Weaver. My words. As, like, none of them make contact. Oh my god. Oh my bullets. Oh, you do shoot scatters of bullets off of that. Okay. Not ideal. He is stunned when he lands, though, it seems, so that's good. These words are not really the most helpful. Like, sometimes they're helpful. Most of the time, they're not. I did not get a good read on that situation at all. Our damage output is not doing well enough for the current amount of damage we're taking. There we go, got a much better read on the attack angle there. Just gotta keep dodging. Oh, it's gonna do a bad thing now. Yep. I had nowhere to go at that point because either the laser was gonna get me from the spinning or one of the spider shots were gonna get me. We'll try the identifying cursor now. I don't think we gained anything else new from that run, did we? Oh yeah, and you have 3 difficulties. Hard makes the enemies hit harder and have more health. Easy, they have less health, and normal is what we've been dying on. You can also get these enemies as like little things to have one around the desktop here, as well as a bunch of guest characters and things. Apparently they had actually put out a thing where they had a bunch of artists make things for the game for specifically these things. I didn't know that was happening, otherwise I probably would have tried to get in on that too. I only found out about this game after it came out. Oh yeah, you can also see what the requirements for getting the cursors are. Like defeating divas during their attacks, identify a virus with 1 hit, obtain the 2 halves of a key, clear the game without spending any money, pick up a bunch of files, defeat Trojans while they're attacking, and then coming soon in future updates. Now, I have seen one of the key halves in the past. Just not so far today, I don't think. What do we got? Defense is offense. Gain 3 attack for every shield you have. Small chance to get half a shield when picking up files is only a 5% chance. And a potion. We are too broke for any of this. I highly recommend drawing nice big circles, especially around, like, those spiky guys. So you can keep drawing your circles even while they're attacking. Now, admittedly, if you draw smaller circles, you can obviously draw more circles and do more damage faster. It becomes a trade-off between doing fast damage or doing safer damage. And as you can see, the damage output on this is higher than the other ones, but only if you can get that combo up. And if something makes contact with your line, like you'll notice when he's up against that wall, I can't actually circle him. Then you can't actually complete the line, because it breaks on contact. There we go. This seed kind of sucks, because the shop is too expensive for the no money we're getting. And of course the argument can be made, well, just make money, stupid. And, well, if only it were that simple. Okay, now it's just horsey red. Which, if I wanted to farm these for killing them while they're moving, I could. Let's just focus on not dying for the time being, shall we? Wondering where the rest of the enemy encounters were, because like there's no way there's only like 3 encounters in this whole whole system here. Ain't no way. There we go, there's drive scan. And we got cookie clicker. Spawn a cookie that can be clicked to deal damage to all enemies on screen. That'll be useful for the challenge, probably. Did a real bad job there. That was purely on me. Remember, kids, even artists can't always make perfect circles, especially when you're going fast. Honestly, I'm, like, terrible making perfect circles. This is why circle tools exist. Doing better on money now. You know, problem is if I wanted the gain damage for shields thing, I would really want to have a guaranteed each shield option. I don't think there's really much to think about now that I stopped for a second and went, and I'm like, there's not really much to think about here. I don't know why I'm thinking. Oh, these two do pair together, but the odds of it doing anything aren't great. We'll take the HP potion for a bit of certainty against the zip bomb, and then we'll see, well, the zip bomb and the challenge, and we'll see how we look after that. If we get some good money, then I'll see about assembling that combo. Triple. Yes, I did get all three. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was gonna manage to make that last circle fast enough. I love it when my combo actually manages to go somewhere. I know, crazy concept. I like it when my thing actually does a thing. Well, that's just a bad on my part. I saw the horse coming and I'm like, no, I can finish this circle before he gets there. Sure couldn't. Cookie! Cookie, 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 cookie. Cookie, 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 cookie. How long does this cookie last? Oh, damn. I kind of figured it was gonna go away soon. Turns out not so much. That's a great way to actually artificially boost your combo and then go for a spin. Interesting. And we get another health potion. And I think the potion did not pay for its... I fucked up and accidentally grabbed a mod, though. Viruses start with less health. That's not bad. I want that health. Bird I just got back because I was trying to kill the zip bomb fast. The positioning on a lot of this stuff right now is just the worst for trying to do any good circling. This is also exactly why I was giving the advice of make sure to do your circles nice and wide. Did get all my health back, though. Deal 100% more damage to enemies above 90% health, so basically your first hit. There's one of the two key pieces. And combo ramp. Combo racks up in multiples of 2. That is really good. That makes your combo go up, obviously, twice as fast. Yeah, we'll take the combo ramp. I do want the key in order to unlock the other thing, but one problem at a time. Let's take Lucky Find, because we can afford it. The alternative would have been to save up off of the boss and potentially go get the other thing, but this'll work. Because at the rate I'm playing, I would rather have the shields. Yeah, obviously he's gonna do a great job of breaking my lines. Because he's a big, long boy. But when he sits still like this, we can really get some work done. I thought he was going chase mode already. That seemed like a really good opportunity. I just got a little too greedy. But we didn't get hit on the way out this time, so I'll take what I can get. Got him. As you can see, the circling cursors do work very well because you do a lot of damage. Ooh. Avoid fatal damage once and gain 2 attack after is really good. But your EXEs gain 2 extra charge permanently is pretty good too. Yeah, we'll take the avoid fatal damage, because again, durability. Yeah, we did not get much money out of that, so I made the right choice. Okay. Let me grab all of that. We can afford the sacrifice, I think. 27. Not ideal, but you know what? It's still something. I was admittedly kind of banking on getting a little bit luckier with the shields. There we go, we got a second and half at least. Because it'll make up for me just slamming my face into shots from things like the worms. What's a shop got? Gold Hoarder. Deal 1 extra damage for every 20 coins you possess. Well, that would be great if I ever actually had coins. Heal half your max hearts upon key consumption. Okay, so there is a way to expend keys. Can I get the health potion, though, for the moment? And the treasure. Package delivery. Drops a huge crate to be delivered in 5 seconds, dealing 2,000 damage. Picking it up will heal 1 heart. Huh. So, does the 1 heart swap places with the 2,000% damage then? Like, will it deal the 2,000% damage only if you don't collect the crate? Not sure. We'll give it a shot. We got a full shield again. All the things, I want them all. It's all within my own files anyway, right? Right. Delivery for you. Oh, it gets delivered here. Okay. Wham! So they hit them with the reverb fart and the Wilhelm scream. Interesting. Why is everything healing? Oh, I think the little propeller hat robot. Oh, this room fucking sucks. I can't tell what's happening half the time. And I can't summon another package either. I think we're SOL here. Because I just can't do anything. Every move I try to make just leads to death right now because there's just too many projectiles in play. Now there's our avoid death once, but it only gave me half a heart back, so yeah, it's over. Since I have to circle the enemies, I'm like, what do I do? What move do I make to accomplish anything in that situation? Well then. Didn't unlock anything new there. Let's try the higher crit chance. See if that does something for us. And I think we actually want the classic cursor back because its damage is higher. If we're gonna go for a crit advantage here. There's a 200 draw length difference, but I feel like I still want this better. I want this more, rather. Oh yeah, I meant to show you guys what the data fragments were for. We'll cover that in a second here. I'm in fight loop right now. Which that's the big thing about this, is it's very compelling to just jump right back in, and it is quick to go right back in with as well. Zaps and deals 1 damage to every enemy on every combo. That's a pretty good one to have. And last shield. Obtain 1 shield after falling to 1 heart, then this item will break. Ew. Nice and fast. We've also got 4 hearts with this cursor, so we're doing pretty good. Zeus form. Temporarily, you gain 100% chance to zap lightning AoE per combo and briefly stuns the enemy for 10 seconds. Yep, we got Bang Bang again. This is why you pay attention to the files you're clicking on. Which is just generally good advice for life anyway. Always pay attention to the things you're clicking on. Be it links, files, anything. Even if they come from a trusted source. Always make sure to be careful. And I'm going slower this time. So we've only got 52. Still an A rank though, which gets us lots of money. Well, I say lots of money. 18's not that much, but it's more than we had. I am a bit on the sleepy side today because I got up intentionally early yesterday and then unintentionally got up early again today. So I'm just a little bit off my normal scheduling here. And obviously, you know, eating a lot, so blessings and curses to that. Very much a take what you can get scenario, as always. I do wish it would remove the dots on the ones you've already cleared, so I don't keep thinking that they've got enemies I need to kill in them. It's like, I know that the ones you haven't gone to are the ones that are darker, like this one here. But I don't always pay attention to that. I will spot the dots first. I don't know why I thought I could sneak an attack in there. Get the zip bomb while we're in here. Hey, there we go. We identified 50 Trojans. Not while they're attacking, though, so we're not gonna get the other thing. We at least achieved a thing. There we go. We'll take the heart fragment for now and come back for the health potion. Go ahead and clear out the tier 2. There we go. Oh yeah, I did clear that already. So actually, we only have the boss left. But we can save the healing potion to heal after the boss. Because I would not be shocked if I end up taking a hit here. I probably should have went back to the shop, though, in hindsight. Whoever gave this worm caffeine, stop it. He doesn't need it. Nope, 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 nope. Taking the risk paid off again. Just gotta make sure to not get hit this time. There we go. I was ready with my little bug net. If only I was better at making circles. Oh boy. Nope, 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 nope. Do not want. Please, new touch. No, no, no. Now perish. See, we did take one proper hit there, so we'll be able to heal all of our damage. Let's see. Your damage increases by 25%. Dropping to 1 heart will break this item. EXE gets 2 extra charges again, and increase your attack stat by half, but reduce your max combo capacity by half again. Let's take the EXE bonus because that'll give our Zeus form 3 charges. I think that's a good idea. Go and heal from that. Get the electric arc. We don't really need the last shield. I really don't think that I want that too badly. Oh, we did miss a 3 skull fight. I'm a silly man. Well, let's fight this too then, before we leave. Speed. There we go. That was effective. I think I need to change the light bulb in here. Noticing more glare off these screens. Not glare because of a light reflecting off of them. Glare's not really the right word. But I'm noticing like more strain looking at them because the rest of the light around it is dimmer. You know, and it doesn't help that I just looked up and I only see one bulb lit up there now. So, you know, probably something I'll need to deal with after I'm done here. This is when the other bulb will go in the middle of the stream and it'll suddenly become very dark in here. But, you know, one problem at a time. I didn't really notice the difference till I was staring at a lighter screen like this. Because, you know, I have most everything in dark mode, so there was less of a drastic difference. Why are you yelling at me? Oh, Owen is yelling at me about useless emails again. Wonderful. What's in this shop? Ooh, rich heart. Gain half a heart for every 30 coin you have. I spend them too much. Heal half a heart for every key consumption. That's cheap enough that I'll take it. I still am not sure what keys get used unless they're used for the zip bombs, which would be kind of funny. In fact, let's check that. We have 2 keys right now. Yep, it does use a key to go into these, so I can heal when I go to fight a zip bomb, which seems like a good idea, but also counterintuitive in certain degrees. I do appreciate that the projectiles from an enemy disappear when the enemy dies, by the by. Yeah, the problem with getting a heal when you go into one of the zips is the fact that there's a chance you'll have full health when you go into one of those, because you would obviously be aiming to have as much health as possible before going into them, because they're a dangerous fight. There's this level's treasure. Portal gun. Creates up to 2 portals in combat. When entering a portal, cursor will be teleported to the other portal. Nah, that seems like a fast way to get myself killed doing something stupid. Always known as a great content move, but only if you do it correctly. As in, not what I just did where I called out the fact that that would be a foolish move. I suppose I could always go the route of, I know this is a dumb idea, but I'm doing it anyway. Oh god, this room sucks. Zeus. There we go. This is why I wanted the extra charges for that. Is just freezing the room and then just going ham. Can be very handy. There was a deal in this shop, wasn't there? Yes, there was. Give me that. So we're a little less in trouble. Like the not a virus. I screwed up the circle at the worst time. I went to go faster to get the diva finished off, and it's like, oh hey, you were just slightly off. That's a shame. Perish. Badger mushroom. These like lantern dudes are just horses but worse because they shoot and charge. Nice and easy. How do I get to that? Oh, it's all the way up here, that's why. It was far enough away from its origin point that I was like, where is the file structure leading to this? How do I get to this? We might die here, though. In fact, you know what? Safety net. Seems like such a waste, but at half a heart, I'm not playing any risks there. So we have a choice between fighting a challenge and fighting a boss, neither of which are likely to lead to anything good happening. Considering this, I think I don't think this will work on a boss. I think I'm better off doing the challenge. The idea being we activate the challenge, we Zeus, we wipe the challenge and hopefully find healing. Or, you know, get hit by the first volley because I didn't expect them to shoot that fast. I was trying to clear a couple of them before I activated the Zeus because I was pretty sure there was multiple waves there. This had potential, but unfortunately I botched it. Just fumbled the potential. And we got one for the rhythm cursor now. Yay. Let's go back to clicking. Crit rate. No, I think attack is what we want for clicking. Since the attack's only 1 for the clicker. Critting wouldn't really help that low attack. This is only 150%. Let's see, we got the overclocker, the combo cache, and the potion. I do want the overclocker because despite the fact that I didn't want crit chance necessarily to begin with, that is pretty cheap for giving 20% crit chance. Obviously, we can't afford any of the above quite yet. So it's kind of a moot point unless I actually get the money. Big advantage of the clicker is it can take advantage of my power to mash the mouse button real fast. Okay, so I can safely attack during that. I just gotta be particular about where. Or I'm floating. There we go. 10 diva viruses. There we go. There's the one I was missing. Once again, knew there was something missing. Just had to find it. Clean all this up. Get this. Clicky, 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 clicky. See that? That Moai head was the bot that just died right there. Did that thing I just clicked on say Club Penguin? I think it did. Missile turret. Place a missile turret. Periodically fire missiles that home onto your target. Sure. That seems useful. I don't know how long that turret lasts. I'm probably going to save the first spawn of it for a boss fight. Or a particularly rough fight. One of the two. I shouldn't have stayed there that long. I know better. Now, obviously, I could have waited until she started her attack completely to hit her and finish her, but eh. I'm a gummy bear. Perish. Let's test this on the zip bomb here. See how effective the missile launcher is. That went poorly. Oh, that's because he was still alive. I didn't even see him under the missile launcher at that moment. As I figured it despawns, so yeah, you don't want to waste those on weaker fights then. Our health is terrible right now. I'm gonna take the combo capacity increase anyway because I'm a fool that way sometimes. We can actually increase our combo further, but I'm gonna take the overclocker and the... Guess who's an idiot right now? I'll give you a hint. It's the guy who just clicked a health potion when his health was full. Really thought that was a great plan there, huh, genius? Sometimes my brain's real brain. Sometimes it's real bran. And that's why it flakes off. Problem. Okay, yeah, I do get hit if I float back in like that. That was a bad call. It's a shame that those Moai heads landing don't hurt the enemies. Imagine if the like wiggling they did actually hit stun them. What an easier game this would be in that situation. CD launcher. Chance to launch a bouncing disc that deals 300% of your attack. Disc lasts for 3 seconds. Key to your heart. If you don't have a key, you'll use half a heart instead. That would go well with the whenever you use a key, you heal thing, in theory. Depends on if it counts that when you do that or not. We'll take the disc launcher, though, because I think that'll be funny. Isn't there something I left behind? No, I guess there wasn't. I think the only thing I left behind was the boss. Oh. And just get you spawned while we're waiting for him to be hittable. Yeah, because these missiles are doing great work, and the discs. We are just devastating this thing's health so quickly, because we are just filling the screen with nonsense. Who's the spammer now? Haha! Hitless boss. Identify a boss virus in under 60 seconds. Nice. Let's see. Executioner Core. Defeat any enemies that are below 20% health. Orbiting keys. Summon X number of keys that orbit around your cursor and deals contact damage. I'm going to assume X is how many you actually have. Glass Cannon. Double your attack stat, but reduce max hearts by half. Yeah, you know, just a one heart wonder. That seems like a great plan. How about we don't do that? Let's take the execution. I'm already making dumb enough mistakes as far as my health is concerned. I don't need to be reducing my total further. Another key, very good. Keep thinking they will take longer to fire than they do. And then I get shot. Yeah, he won't shoot. Ow! Why is there a bullet in me? He's the guy who said wouldn't shoot shot. Huh. Didn't know he had it in him. Oh, for a second that was it. I was like, really? That's all you got? Okay. Fine by me. I did not mean to activate that. Well, sometimes life choices happen. Life comes at you fast. Sometimes you just sit there like an idiot and get hit. Nice! That's 10 Trojans during their attacks. These discs are so helpful. Like, they are the most helpful thing, I think, so far. Now, admittedly, the usual downside comes into play of it's a little distracting. But I'll take something that's a little distracting for something that's this helpful. In terms of getting rid of problems without me having to go there and touch them myself. Binary Blade. Increase attack by 1. I mean, very tempting. 10% dodge rate or one more combo. Let's go ahead and take the flat 1 attack at that rate then. Yes, yes, yes. Glad I did that challenge even if I didn't necessarily intend to. There's payrolls. Pulse Core. Viruses explode into bullets upon death that can hurt other enemies. As long as it doesn't also hurt me, that sounds fantastic. Give me that, and I'll take the shield as well. I'm glad they made sure to separate your bullet color. So, like, the bullets that come off of the things I'm killing are green, so I know that they're not a threat to me. Plenty of games, purposely or otherwise, don't do that. Focus down the healer, then the zip bomb, because the zip bomb's coverage is a problem. We've definitely got a good thing going here now, though. Because there's just a lot of incidental death that happens without me having to be involved. Helps keep the enemy populations from getting to be a problem for me. Okay, looks like we just have the boss fight to do, which is... Wait, no, there's the zip bomb still, I forgot about. Because we keep finding them in regular fights, so I'm like, oh, one of these must have been that. Turns out none of them were. Thankfully, I got my health back. Virus Tether. At the start of combat, rather, tether to one virus and deal 200% attack every second. Currency sacrifice. Take coins instead of hearts. And the calculator we saw before. I want the virus tether, actually, because... Think about it. If it's tethering you to one virus at the start of combat, every combat with a boss starts with only you and the boss so far. So if it allows me to tether to the boss, you see the idea? You see the magic? Those up. Right, there's just the recovery pact, which would have been great before I went into the zip bomb, but I didn't have enough money for it then anyway. Boss it is, and hope for the best. Wait, no. Your review hasn't been opened. There we go. More stuff. Voodoo doll. Damage yourself half a heart to gain a random chunk of coins. Well, I have all the money I need now. I'm obviously gonna grab the other one doesn't have charge. And I guess it's better than the sacrifice if you think about it, because the sacrifice takes one full heart, whereas this only takes a half a heart. Now, the catch to that being, I don't know how much a chunk of coins is, since both of them kind of use the same logic in that regard. One sec. I really need to stop juggling so many things, especially in the middle of trying to do a stream when I'm already slightly out of it from being sleepy. But at the same time, I see things, so I respond to things. All I should do is put my phone further away from me. Put it further out of line of sight behind me. That will totally help. Go ahead and grab the recovery pact just to have it in case I need it. And now it's boss time, because we have nothing else left to change. Oh, wait. These weren't opened yet. Doesn't matter. Well, Totally gonna use the multi-click this time and see what kind of difference it makes for this fight. Because we're already not in a good position for this. Oh yeah, look at that go. Let's stop using that. That's a little much. No, the pace is similar with me regular clicking. Yeah, I gotta stay between the lasers. That's kind of what I figured. That laser attack, though, dropped us down to half a heart. I think we're donezo here. Yep, his problem was, as he was landing, I lost track of the bullet that was right next to me because his model blocked where that bullet was for just that one frame that I needed to run into it. I should have just remembered where it was, but my object permanence failed me in that moment. Yeah, the data fragments we've been getting are what you spend to get these things, as well as your cosmetic stuff. There's also a database here that'll show you all the stuff you don't have, including a bunch of ones that aren't available yet. As well as, like, names and info for all of the viruses you encounter. Unfortunately, we have not gotten the info for the spider yet because we haven't beaten the spider yet. And bear in mind, we've only been in D drive. There's still E and F left. And then X coming in future patches. Here's all of the achievements. Which we've done a solid amount already. Oh yeah, there is a screensaver, so if like I stop doing anything for a few seconds here, it should pop the screensaver up. So we'll wait here a moment and let that happen. Assuming it'll happen with the database up, it might not. Let me actually close that and then wait. I feel like the screensaver had popped up quicker when I had done this before, because when I was prepping the stream is when it popped up, and I was only prepping for like a minute or two. It did not take me long to get everything ready. So that's interesting. Is there something stopping it from popping up? Because I'm literally touching nothing right now. Not touching the keyboard, not touching the mouse, nothing. There it is. It's the old DVD video screensaver thing that just bounces around, that people were always convinced would never hit a corner. And it changes color every time it bounces. And of course another achievement popped because that popped up. Is we got to 60 seconds. Oh no. But as you can see, there's an achievement for it hitting the corner, so it can. And then, of course, we got ones for viruses we haven't seen yet and everything. Hey there, Gab. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Ooh, a shiny virus. I don't know what the deal with shiny viruses is. Still haven't seen explosive temper yet either. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's 25 during their attack for the lasso, not the 10 that we got. Though apparently we hit 14. Probably because we had a bunch of them getting caught by the discs as they were flying around. Let's go back to selection cursor for a round. 'Cause I do still think that's one of my best choices right now. We're almost up to recycling cursor. And hopefully we'll get lucky and get a setup where we can actually finish lasso cursor. Peak output. You deal 50% more damage at max hearts. If only. If only. So if I get that shield, I might be able to make the max hearts dream a reality. At least for a while. Because remember, it doesn't count shields when it comes to things like max health and such. So it just gives you a free buffer on that one. Thing is, we're going to need a lot of money to be able to get both. And right now, 21 ain't it. There it is. I was like, there's gotta be more. This is too small a file system error. Kind of funny in a way. I avoided turkey today because I'm like, I'm already a little bit lower energy. Let's not have any turkey. I may as well have had the turkey with how tired I'm feeling anyway. Like, it didn't matter. But as a result, we're probably gonna end up being a little bit short today. Like, more in the, like, 2-3 hour range rather than 4. Just because no sooner did we get started did, like, the energy in my body just, like, decide, you don't need me. I'm out of here. Got places to be. But a second wind could always hit, too. We'll see how it goes. Because half the time when I feel these, like, sluggish moments, they pass after a little bit. And then we just carry on anyway. For every file you collect, gain a charge. Fires a file at enemies per charge. Okay. Sounds very useful. We'll see how useful it actually is. Still thriving with shields at the moment. Once again, very grateful that their attacks disappear. Oh, it's not... they weren't kidding when they said that you get a charge for literally every file. So I used up like 4 charges, it looks like. Admittedly, as interested as I am in the concept of the rhythm cursor, I'm finding it to be much more likely that we'll get the lasso cursor first. Just because it's easier to take out the Trojans while they're attacking than it is to get the divas. So both will be much easier if I can get another good ranged move. I thought we were done. I don't know why I thought a challenge was going to end in one wave. But we are once again the best thing for fighting these while they're attacking. So I could try to engineer killing this one while it's attacking, I suppose, since its health's already pretty low. Come on, attack me. Attack me. Fight me. Fight me. Thank you. And perish. Got another Trojan identified while attacking. There's 50 user viruses. I'm gonna ruin this run by trying to get these while they're attacking, and I know it. But the temptation, though. The temptation. Suicide bot. Spawn an ally at the start of the round that charges towards the viruses and explodes upon contact for 500% damage. Coin bot gives you 50 coins. That would allow me to afford what we were planning to do, so I think I'm taking that. As much as the Explodey Boy would be very helpful, getting to have what we were aiming for here I think is going to be better for us. Is that'll give us... Since it's 50% more damage, it should, in theory, put us to 5 attack. At worst, it'll put us to 4 attack, which is still good. And we can actually afford the Cloud Color, too, so you know what? Take all of them. We suddenly gained a big power swing. Just gotta remember, I need to stay at full health for this bonus to matter. It's bang time again. This is the first time this came up without me being on the classic cursor. Or have I done this 3 times before? I've already forgotten. Technically, I have actually done it 3 times before because I did it once in testing too, but I'm not counting those. I love how I'm steadily doing worse rather than better. But that got me all the money I would have needed, I think, to afford the 2 we were aiming for. And now we have money left over for the next one. So really, at the end of the day, who's the actual winner here? You can also file a bunch of files at the boss here. So it seems like it's not actually firing them for every charge it has, it's it allows you to shoot once per charge is the thing. And we no longer have our attack bonus. RIP. I didn't have room to move yet because the missiles hadn't landed and I didn't trust myself to avoid them. There we go. Still got him though. Those files were very helpful. Miniaturizing beam. Chance to shrink viruses on hit. Nah. Ooh. Collector box. Obtain every single common item. Sure. Boom. So we suddenly gained from that a vital shard, a binary blade, a overclocker, an amplifier, a combo cache, a combo extension, a ghost file, and the collector box itself. So that was a pretty worthwhile grab, I think. Because now the 50% attack increase is guaranteed to give us 2 attack, instead of praying for a rounding advantage. Now, it is worth noting, by the way, based on what you can see at the bottom right, on the left corner there, if any of y'all want that new randomizer to be shown off, that I'm still not going to reveal which one because more fun that way, especially since I have been offering y'all that bonus of if you get over the goal by 2 the same day as the goal gets hit, I will let y'all pick which one it'll be. The option is there for you. Wait a minute. The sacrifice, I guess, leads to where I need to go because there's nowhere else to go but the sacrifice. Huh. Yeah, everything is behind that. Sacrifice 2 hearts for a random modifier. I'm tempted. Fuck it. Mod get. We got heightened senses. Increase your attack rate, attack stat by half, but reduce your combo capacity by half. So we have 6 attack now, which means we'll have 9 whenever we're at full health, which we are definitely not right now. Which is the problem with that logic that I've decided to operate under, but what else is new? We at least have lots of files to attack things with from our recycle bin. So that's good. Actually, a lot of files here, good god. Defrag Strike. Not dealing damage for 3 seconds will make the next attack triple damage. That's great and all, but no thank you right now. Well, actually, I may as well buy it. We got the mod widget. I assume it'll let you start with a random mod, probably. I don't know how that one hit me. I feel like I moved out of the way of that, but maybe my eyes did a weird. There's the recycle cursor. There we go. That's fine. There's a one skull here that will fight. Hey, deal more than 50 damage with 1 attack. I don't really know how I did that much damage right there, but I'll take it. Oh, the combo multiplier, I guess. And then a crit. Okay. Now that suddenly starts to make sense. And we're not even at full health yet. Imagine how much damage we can do when we're at full health. There's the missile turrets again, but I really am starting to like my giant pile of files. You identify her while she's attacking. Identify target. Oh, see. Don't have enough money for it to matter right now, so more combat. Completely forgot about the laser or diva again, so I'm like, wait, why is there a death laser now? What happened? What did I do wrong? The answer is, what I did wrong was not paying attention. And it was almost a really big problem. it was just a missile turret. That's right. That doesn't help anything. Let's see, work in progress art folder is attached to sacrifice? Yes. Back up to 48 charges on my little recycle bin. Oh, off to the challenge. Oh, we got the kill in one hit. So now we got the crosshair as well. We're getting things. We're doing stuff. We're playing the feud. Are we, though? No. I'm gonna say it anyway. The music really gets going. It's so tempted to make the cursor dance, even though it would get me killed even more so than I already do. There we go, managed to shoot him down. I figure I may as well fire off a bunch of files at him so that I can increase the amount we're getting towards the lasso. Nice. The health potion to get out of the hole. Ooh, I haven't done this one yet. Jumping minigame. Jump over the obstacles. Tap to start / jump. Gain rewards based on your score. This is actually, like, surprisingly fast. I shouldn't have gotten bored and jumped randomly. Like, yeah, I can afford to jump randomly here. It'll be okay. Wham! Straight into a cactus immediately. Boss strike. Deal 10% more damage overall to bosses. Missile core. Chance to spawn homing missile that targets the furthest enemy. Explode to deal 300% of your attack. And even strike. Even combo has 50% chance to deal extra 2 damage. Let's take the missiles. That's just extra free damage. We do still have the zip bomb as well. And the shop had last shield. Sure, let's take that as a safety net. Especially when I keep just eating hits from the worms like that all the time. Like, the greed hits just hard enough, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'll kill them before they can shoot. Dies. Oops. Hey, we got the health widget now, too. Suddenly we're, like, clicking on getting all them unlocks again. We keep hitting the various thresholds for that. That's how you know they're paced well, is like right as you are starting to question things and start to give up a little bit, you get a new thing. I don't even know what happened to the other guy. Subscription plan offer! For just 12 coins, you receive 2 hearts. A deal so good, your pixels will thank you. Sure, I'll give you my money in exchange for refilling my health. Deal success! Nice doing business with ya. You're now officially a part of the Big Bit Club. I hope to see you again. That sounds very trustworthy and nothing wrong with it at all. Time to fight the spider again. The missile launcher might not have been a bad idea for this guy, just because it would have given me a passive damage dealing method. But I can just fire files at him, and it'll be okay. And at least we can clear, like, very fast. And I don't feel too bad about getting filtered by the spider boss a bunch, either. Because apparently, when I was listening to people talking about this when I was watching a couple of the day one streams, apparently this guy was just a filter for people in general day one, too. Because it is just way stronger than everything else. Which I'll admit, I don't know if it's like too crazy. It's just a lot to take in, and it's very strong against most of your means of attacking. So unless you have some good stats, you're in trouble. Or, alternatively, it's going to be a slow fight. Which leaves lots of room for you to make the one mistake that'll get you killed. Gotcha. I fired my last file at it. That was an upsetting sound it made right there. That's a yikes right there. Let's see, combat shield. At the start of every combat, gain half a shield that lasts only in the combat. Precisive strike. Critical strikes deal triple damage. Or coin scavenger. Guaranteed gaining coins from files. See, guaranteed coin gain does sound incredibly good, but triple crit damage. Triple crit damage. Why is my bitrate turned gray? What? 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 I haven't dropped any frames. Twitch? You good, bro? It's sitting there saying it's determining quality now, which is a little weird. Everything else seems fine, so I'm just gonna pretend it's okay until I hear otherwise. But perhaps there's more reasons why it'll be a shorter session today. We'll see. Of course, I pass up the guaranteed coins, and now, like, more than half of these aren't giving me coins. Of course, now we also have new enemies, too. Yep, nope. Trojans are still here, though. Some things never change. So I guess it's just gonna keep adding new enemies, but also keeping the old ones in? Huh. Okay, so the books are responsible for the files that are flying around. I kind of assumed as much, but I wasn't sure. What's the treasure? Healing drone. Oh, I'd lose my files, but it would spawn a healing drone that heals me. Can I just, like... I can't spawn him outside of combat. Okay. We'll come back for our file thing. We will spawn the healing drone to get back up to max health. Because, you know, why not? It's also a one-charge wonder anyway, so as soon as that one charge is gone, it would be useless again anyway. Now we have all that clearing power back. Just rip through the enemy. Oh yeah, that wasn't gonna give me a heart. That was supposed to heal one heart. I misread those half-heart things because I keep thinking that there'll be a max health increase, not a heal. Even though it says right on it that it's a heal. Oh. Aiming minigame again. It's tempting to turn my DPI up for this, but I feel like I would just overshoot instead, so it wouldn't actually help anything. Nope, I missed a click, so we're not getting my record. That's my second best, though. I do think my best was like 59. Good amount of money still, though. And we have not seen this area's shop yet. Hello to these idiots. Just kill that thing from afar because I don't like the idea of being near that thing. Those books also make the weirdest noises. Shop in there. There is the shop. Now there's an EXE in here. Some kind of eyeball. Okay, so it's a one-sided laser. I feel like the one-sided laser would have made more sense to have be in the first area. But at the same time, it is a tracking laser instead of just auto spin, so trades. Hey, it rates back to green now. Hooray. So binary blade, combo cache, or ghost file. Let's go ahead and take another binary blade. Let's just keep raising our attack. Is the classic method of if we shred our enemies before they know what's happening, then they can't hurt me. There's the shop. And we got everything else I was going to pick in the shop, so there you go. It all works itself out. Everything works perfectly fine. Sometimes it's just meant to be. Oh, the little paper thing puts up pop-ups. I hate him, and he needs to perish on sight immediately. I'm blue. Cookie Monster! Oh god, he makes a lot of problems. Okay, Cookie Monster, I see you. You need to go, brother. Oh, and he heals himself by eating the cookies he spreads everywhere. What a menace. Identified one Cookie Monster virus. I guess he's just that strong then. If killing just one of those is an achievement, he must have been like a mini-boss or something. She was powerful. He had a lot of attacks for just being a regular enemy. What am I sacrificing for? For a hunk of coins? Nah, I'm good. It's one of the few sacrifices I'll pass up on entirely. We're not doing bad on coins, considering we already bought out the shop, and we have 16 coins left. And we got fights left to go. That tar is not a file type I've thought of too many times. I've seen a few. Not very frequently used, though, in my experience. Just exists. I'm sure people in certain fields probably use it way more. Oh yeah, the treasure was the healing drone. That's right. Oh, it does offer you the chance again. We do have that heal. So you know what? Fine. 20 coins. Now we're back at full health anyway. I'm probably going to regret that because I'm going to take damage in the challenge and I'm going to be sad that I don't have that heal anymore. Well, I deleted the zip bomb like instantly, so that's good. Oh god, it's Cookie Monster again. The demon has returned. Hit him with the files. There we go. Just kill him fast. I know, many children out there now are very sad because I murdered Cookie Monster, but you know what? He had it coming. Oh, we got a super horse. There's the crit damage widget. Oh, you leave your line behind you. Ooh, boy, you are a nightmare. Quite literally, potentially. Pegasus virus is what that was. Okay. Sure. That actually makes sense. It had wings. Couldn't get combo cash. I'll leave that potion in here for after the boss. I don't think I've seen this boss fight before, so this is gonna be interesting. Oh, it's raining. Raining in the computer somehow. You got an octopus? What are you? The fuck am I looking at here? Whatever you are, perish. The Cloud Coryx. Okay. Oh, I get it. I think if I'd left the minion alive, that's what was gonna make those walls a problem, so I'm glad I got rid of those. Oh boy. I dodged one of them with Ghost File, but ow. Ow. I was doing so well, and then it started to blur. Up, out of files. Act. Oh, Lord. Oh, and that was... there was no way. There was no way I was winning at that point. I did not have it. That's our best run so far, though. Partially thanks to the coin bag letting us springboard into all of those items. On the bright side, we have some new cursors. We got the recycling cursor that is surrounded by files you pick up, and the crosshair cursor shoots viruses down quickly with bullets using combo capacity as magazine size. There's just a gun. I'm glad they didn't go the light gun game route where it would flash the screen. That would be an issue. Bang bang. And I feel like this is just a clicker cursor with extra steps, admittedly. How do I reload? There we go. I guess it's just an automatic reload that takes time. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there's a fast reload option as well. Okay. I keep screwing it up, though, because I'm clicking one too many times. I'm trying to click fast, because I'm used to doing that at this point. Oh, wow, I actually got that immediately. Look at that. Give me a go. It is more generous than it looks, as far as that mechanic goes. Nice. I do think that this should start with more attack, considering what this is and what you did to get it. Because it really doesn't seem like it has too many benefits. It just kind of is, you know? Not sure how I feel about this. It takes extra steps to achieve the same thing that the clicker cursor does. Since you have to reload this, and the clicker cursor just does its thing, you know? I mean, not everything has to be an upgrade, obviously. These are to a pretty hefty degree meant to be, like, variations on playstyle. I just don't know what the benefit here would be. But again, there may not necessarily be a benefit. But something that's making my attention split more? Definitely not a benefit right now, in the slightest. Because if I'm paying attention to that active reload, you know I ain't gonna be able to dodge and do that at the same time. I have a hard enough time with the third-person shooters that have that as a mechanic. Trying to make sure I'm going cover to cover while reloading and things like that. You think I'm gonna be able to do a bullet in hell while doing that? Absolutely not. Okay, you have free ammo on this screen. That's why that makes sense. Okay. I was a little worried about that one. It seemed kind of silly you were burning ammo on your travel screen. One heart for a random chunk of coins. We are a little bit poor, sure. It's gonna be risky. Oh, I guess since I only have the one full heart, they won't even let me do it, huh? Okay. I was just gonna go down to half a heart. It was gonna be fine. Tesla coil. Zap lightning AoE and stun an enemy for 1 second every 5 seconds. So, genuine question, since the group chat logs thing popped up as a file along the way here. How many of you out there actually, like, keep records of group chats you're in? Do any of you even do that? That feels absurd to me. Outside of, like, just the chat log that exists, like, in Discord, for example. The history of a chat there makes sense, but I do know there are people that actually, like, keep record of these things, and I'm like, are you okay? Do you need to talk about this? You plotting something over there? It's like, sure, nothing lasts forever, so I understand from that perspective. Not wanting to lose the conversations and everything. But maybe it's just the way the world's been, especially on the internet in recent times, that makes me just very suspicious of behavior like that. 500 viruses in total. Really want to shoot that enemy, but I can't do it without dying. An interesting twist on this would be that you, as the crosshair, don't take damage, but the gun took damage. You have to, like, move the gun around as well. Store 1 EXE charge, sure. Gain a shield, gain health. Like, don't get me wrong, having the gun be a separate entity you have to keep track of would make it more difficult at the same time, but it would also make it very different, if that makes sense. Like, you're just running the gun back and forth at the bottom of the screen. So there would be worlds in which you'd end up having the gun get trapped at the bottom. Is like something would spawn down there and it would sandwich you into a bad position, so I can see why you wouldn't want to do that at the same time. I don't know why that last shot didn't go. I clicked on him and it just went, no, you're hanging on to that last bullet. You know better. Huh. Sometimes when I end up close but not quite, it gives it to me, and sometimes it doesn't. Unless it just happens to have a really short timer sometimes, which I guess isn't impossible. Also, the amount of shields we have is silly. I'm very here for it right now, though, at the rate this is going. I think we've done everything except this. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe... I guess the holding is supposed to be what its advantage is. thing is, the model for it's a pistol, so I'm like, oh, it's another one where I have to, like, individually click. I wasn't expecting this to have machine gun fire rate for a pistol, you know? Now I'm starting to get the idea of why this has an advantage. Backed it up. I guess there's not many things you could have just a one-hand and model down there and still have it work for. Even though, honestly, even with a pistol, one-handing is a little tricky. Yeah, that's way more effective when I'm just holding the button down. So I do still think that this should have started with a little bit more attack. Dang it. Double get dang it. Good thing I had a shield, so at least I wasn't wasting real health. Health being a fool. We have just a boss left now. Time to shoot a worm. And holding the button definitely helps not end up triggering the fast reload accidentally. Or in this case, you know, missing it. Yeah, that's way more effective. So it would be nice if the meter for that was somewhere other than just on your cursor as well, considering there are going to be times where you're moving your cursor so quick to avoid something that you won't be able to see it very well. You know, you gotta do this whole dodging to live thing at times. And now that makes quite the difference when you actually understand how to use this thing properly. Selection cursor.dll, add selection playstyle. Now, when I was watching Char play this, we had a debate as to whether these DLLs would actually add on the playstyle on top of yours or if it would replace it. So let's find out. And it's just there, and I still have my crosshair. So you'll notice there's a little bit of the selector or cursor in there. So I think you genuinely do get both. So I think we're in business here. I think this is a great idea. Because we have just multiplied our damage, basically. Look at that. That is just disgusting. Like, I think as long as it doesn't specifically say replace, you just get both. Which is gonna lead to some ridiculous potency. Thought I was gonna move fast enough. I feel like there's like slight cursor constraint to this game. Like you can have it so that you can click out of the window and just like leave the window freely if you want to. By being in borderless, which I'm in right now, for sake of streaming. But I feel like what I mean by cursor constraint is it's slowing my mouse down slightly compared to the speed my DPI would be allowing me to go to. It's like I turn my DPI up and I'm still not going at the same speed that the higher DPI would normally be going. Is that's probably intentional so that you don't just cheese the system by raising the DPI on a mouse and just going zooming around at Mach hell. Nothing too crazy in this shop, but we can buy the whole thing, so we're buying the whole thing. So we have that shield and everything. And everything else is profit now. Jackpot machine. Consumes 5 coins to have a small chance to obtain a random mod. The Tesla coils aren't helping that much. Let's use up the Tesla coil if we're gonna do that. 2 hearts for random modifier. I don't have 2 hearts. Quite literally, I only have 2 hearts. I really thought 4 bullets plus the selector box was gonna kill that. Selector or box is just so useful. They have been selected to die. Money, money, money. There we go. Party pooper. Every party needs a pooper. That's why we invited you. Most excited I think anyone's ever been to be a party pooper. There's my shield. No, actually, there have probably been people more excited to be a party pooper because there are people who they dislike enough that when they ruin their parties, they're happy. That's a whole other situation, I suppose, at that point. We got memes over there. We got homework here, the classic homework file. Fragment. Not even sure I needed that, if I'm honest. I wasn't really looking. Just gun that thing down before he becomes a problem. If this setup could get that attack boost when at full health, this would be going very, very well, I think. This 4 attack's not bad, but we could have more. So anything that just raised my attack would also be completely acceptable. This room is a mess. Tesla coil, go. Just so we could slow things down enough that I could actually, you know, get some hits in. There's things that can stun, and things like that really do seem to almost be required for certain configurations. Just because it just starts to become so much to try to keep track of, you know? I already bought you out. That is the jackpot machine. We're gonna save grabbing that for after the boss. Where was that potion? There it is. Alright, let's see how the boss goes. Spider boss has been a problem consistently, though, so this could be bad. We shall see. That's what the Tesla coil was for, was stunning his friends. Get rid of the spider friends. Trying to attack any of these things while this laser's going on is so brutal because that laser is so fast. Like, his bullets aren't too bad. It's the laser legs that are such an issue. So, again, he catches me by like a bullet getting obscured right when it's about to make contact, so I can't quite tell if I'm out of the way or not. Not that. This. Come here, yo. Fuck you. Just gonna vent frustration at the spider for a second, don't mind me. Okay. We don't have the rhythm cursor yet because the party pooper thing was only partway there, not the actual get the cursor effect, so we'll do the recycling cursor. And that may very well be last run, depending on how long it lasts. Because I did say it's only gonna be like 2 to 3 hours instead of longer. Gotta pick my files up. Gotta get my reports in. Ma'am, these reports are for you. Stop throwing them on the floor. I know they're not well written, but at least they're not AI generated. Take your damn reports. I also did not realize that the little extras you got would actually be on screen during combat. This was a horrible mistake to have an enemy be purchased for that. That's just... You're basically playing with extra difficulty at that point. Interesting. Oh, I can move him too. Nope, I can't move him off screen though. There's glass cannon. That's tempting with the way this one works. Get a random mod if you took damage 4 times in the same combat. That sounds incredible if I had enough health to take damage 4 times without dying. Because even if you don't die from that combat taking 4 hits, you're probably gonna die in the next one unless you're really good. The burst damage on this is great. Just the second you lose all your papers, things start going very wrong. Somebody get this fool a folder. It's carrying loose files around everywhere. this is why I didn't assume that the fight was over, because it should have triggered the end of the fight by that point. Not foolish enough to fall for that one game. He took all my files and lived. What kind of monster is he? That was a little bit too much all in one place. And I guess you just kind of flail around will work. But ironically enough, might actually be more effective. I don't know how to feel about that. Moai Totem. Summons a Moai to stomp on your position to deal massive damage. We will have them on our side now. Aha! Having to go to specific locations to get my files back seems to be the biggest weakness of this form. The damage output, like I said, the burst on it is great. But you have to put yourself in harm's way so hard in order to be able to do anything with it. But it's mixed blessings. Oh yeah, there isn't a heal in here. There's only a firewall. Well, we're taking it anyway because I need it. Maybe we'll get lucky and a heart will appear here. Yeah, we definitely need to raise our damage output. Just so that we can at least remove like one of these stronger enemies before we run out of files to hit them with. As I mentioned, you are at your most vulnerable when you have to pick things back up again afterwards. And I'm sure there's ways to set it up to be less of an issue in that regard. That's just the problem we have right now. Okay, I lost my shield and gained a shield back, so technically there was a heart in there. I wasn't wrong, just didn't get it the way I wanted it either. Either the zip bomb or a tier 3, like we just fought. Oh, thank God, we got a health potion. Okay, you know what? We're actually potentially in this. As long as we don't lose too much of that health immediately. And I've doomed myself by saying that, and we all know it. But at the same time, you can't not say it. You can't let yourself be ruled by fear. I say as one who has done that for a lot of time. Don't worry about that part. Ignore that. Once again, get pinned into a corner where I can't do a damn thing. I'm letting myself get pinned into those corners, don't get me wrong. A chunk of that is my fault, but some of this design definitely encourages these situations to happen. Especially when all of your files spawn in a place where you can't get to them. I feel like I'm back in that archipelago trying to find my way to be able to do anything. Like, Can I go this way? Nope. Death there. Can I go this way? Nope. Can't go there. Physically can't fit through that. Rip. All the things I need are just out of reach. We've almost got full health back, though, so that did work out. That's probably the one I wanted, but I was clicking too fast again. You start just clicking through things, trying to clean up all the stuff, and you end up double-clicking something you didn't mean to. And I can't afford any of this, so... bleh. Well, our only shot really is... well, no, we have the zip bomb still. Still hope. Can't say that's a lot of hope, but it's hope. One could argue it's cope, but don't worry about that part. It's fine. The devil's in the details, and I can't say that the devil will steer me wrong right now. Nice, another healing potion. Turns out all the health was behind the nasty fights this time. Great. Love that for me. Well, we still don't have a choice. Oh no, we have this tier 3 still, which does have a reward in it. Okay. This might actually be what saves this. You know, if I stop getting myself mixed up with my own damn files. Which I really shouldn't be. They're not... the icons aren't that similar. My eyes are really just not honed in today. Case in point, where I just stood there and took that on the chin. There we go. Hopefully this reward is worth it. D20. At the start of every combat, roll a D20. Gain an attack buff or debuff, depending on the results. Ugh. Vouchers. Shop items are discounted by half, or the 50 coins. Both of the items in the shop were like 30 something, right? So half off for them would make one of them affordable. If I take the coin bag, I can get both of them now. But if I take the half off, that might benefit me in the future. So we're gonna take the half off. Oh yeah, one of them was higher and one of them was 30. Yeah, I was half right. Let's risk it. We now have an attack stat of 6, but 1.5 hearts. What a choice I've made here today, huh? But with the burst damage this has, I feel like it benefits from high attack quite a lot. So at the rate I'm getting hit already, this may have not been my finest of ideas. See, the other logic you could operate under for this would be the logic of, since you have burst damage, you need the health to be able to survive until you can set up the next good burst. Rather than just going ham inward like I am right now. It's kind of working. Kind of not. This has like a late game modifier where you can get like the ability to summon your papers back to you. This could really, really end up the most powerful setup in the game. Right now, though, not really landing. And it is solely because of the fact that I have to spend so much time fetching all my papers. Yeah, no, I could not keep focus on that. Do I try again? We almost had the ninja cursor because we'd gotten... Oh no, didn't we only get to E? Because then we died to the squid? Yeah. Because I think the Guardian E was the squid, his D is the spider. Let's see if we can get a better roll for the recycling cursor. Because we could start with like a mod or something, and that might help. An additional heart's not a bad shout. Extra critical damage, I'm not too sold on because you need a way of critting for critical damage to help. And none of this stuff seems to start with high crit rate. We'll try the mod widget. We basically ended up the same as if we had started with the extra attack, because we just got one extra attack. Okay, that's fine. No one can say I didn't try to do something new. It just didn't work. Get out of here, Skull. Two Doge and a Devour. Give me all those. Looks like everything's literally in here. Nothing else. I know there's peer review right here. Every time I think I'm getting railroaded, there's actually more left than I thought. I'm just blind. Time to do the jumping again. Now, no fucking around this time. Lock in. They're coming at you fast now. I tried to predict that one thinking it was gonna be just as fast as the last one, and I predicted wrong. Real shame. $18 ain't bad though.
Limited time only.
Subscription plan offer. For just 20 coins, you'll receive 2 heart. A deal so good maybe your pixels will thank you. Nah, I don't need the 2 hearts right now, bud. We'll come back to you if I need that. God mode. Gain invincibility for 2 seconds. You know what? Sold. I'm suddenly interested. See, if that salesman was offering me God mode, I would be much more inclined to hear out his offer. What a wild concept that would be. This is also a very good setup for knocking out enemies while they're attacking. This has got reach. Just gotta, you know, have your files on hand at the time. I thought that was some kind of new enemy with a skull head and a body. It was just a skull floating on top of a diva. Yeah, the combination of the rotation and the fact you need to recover the files definitely makes this one tricky to work with. It's potent, but it's tricky to work with. Especially when enemies get in the way of the one you want to attack. Because they just all clump up at times. So it's just like, well, guess I'm not gonna be able to kill the one I want to, huh? Free shields. Let's go to new folder 2, a folder everyone has. That's a lot of knives. If your folder's full of knives, I have a lot of questions. Especially if they're not just pictures of knives. Mostly, why are you keeping your knives in a folder? Shouldn't they be, you know, in a drawer or something? And then also, where did you find a folder big enough to fit real knives in? Don't actually need that heart fragment at the moment, but that's good to have. Rid of him. Admittedly, he was probably the least of the 3 evils on this map, but, you know, take what you can get. Opportunity knocks and all that. Oh, I don't know if that counts as during her attack, but I delayed purposely that. Why is there so much health when I don't need it? Where is all the health when I do need it? Answer, gone. Used it already. Speaking of, there's even more health. He's gone, turned to dust. Now, more useless sponsorships to things I refuse to do because y'all are, well, for one, y'all aren't gonna want it, and two, it ain't something I'm willing to go for. They gotta stop offering me all this mobile garbage that nobody's gonna want. Then I may actually start taking them up on their sponsorships. Or at the very least, you know, find good mobile games to try to offer. Not that those really exist that much, but, you know, I'm sure there's something out there that would be more worthwhile. Spent all my power again, keep picking it up and spending it, picking it up and spending it. I can at least more consistently attack him when he's driving by, like we were talking about before. But look at how slowly that health bar is going down. That's with decent attacks, it's just unfortunately not frequent enough. Nor consistent enough. Weapons like this benefit a lot from things like rotation speed increases and things of that nature. Make them a little more consistent. Yeah, obviously, if you're here for it to be chaotic and silly, then this weapon's got you, while still being somewhat effective. It just doesn't entirely work. I would not all be surprised if I did not get a good roll as to the upgrades this got either, considering we don't have much. Because at least one of the places that would ordinarily have given a reward gave more health. So it's kind of like going to the place that usually gives you the full-size candy bars at Halloween. They just give you this pathetic little fun size thing and pretend that that's acceptable. Why I'm thinking about that in particular right now, I'm not sure. Probably just because I want candy. Oh, he's doing that thing. Oh, you can hurt him while he's doing that, but only when you have something that can hit him without getting hit there. And now the targeting's happening. Ah, I wanted my files. Got hit for my files, but he got hit too, so, you know, not the worst. But considering the amount of health he has left and the fact that I have only half a heart, I don't have a lot of faith in how this one's gonna play out. Because we just do, like, no damage in any realistic capacity. Yep, I knew I was gonna get clipped by something when I was having to run from him. Oh well. This game is neat. Definitely suited well for a short session like today was. I know this was very short, but genuinely I am just, like, dead today. I don't really have a especially good reason for it. Like I said, my best guess is the fact that I just got up very early both yesterday and today. But it doesn't entirely make sense. But one way or the other, we will just pack in early today. I don't think it's very entertaining watching me just get bodied over and over again without that much to add. Oh, that's not great. That's fine. Enjoy the screensaver while I figure out where we're going. Which, as one other aside, though, there is a 35% and off 5 gifted subsets until December starts. So that's a nice little thing. That's good for basically anywhere and everywhere, though. So, you know, spend that where you wish to spend that, if you're going to spend it at all. So that does conveniently match exactly how much you would need to unlock the new rando. So, you know, there is that. Let me take a look at what's going on over here, and then we may very well go there. There we go. We unlocked the next achievement for letting the screensaver go. Look at me getting achievements for doing nothing. You'll love to see it. Yeah, you know what? We haven't gotten to go over here very often, because usually they're done long before I am. Let's go see Squeaky Ducky, who's doing some goblin cleanup today. Let's see. Schedule coming up, obviously. I was theorizing doing short run Saturday again tomorrow. I don't have a list planned out for it, though. So unless I manage to come up with something for that specifically in the extra time I'm going to have today, since we're ending early, maybe it'll happen tomorrow, maybe it won't. If it doesn't, I have plenty of other backups, so don't worry about that. Monday and Tuesday we'll be back to Dark Cloud 2 to make some more headway on that. I don't anticipate us finishing that quite yet. I think it'll be one more week before we finish that, more than likely. So that will be sessions 5 and 6. So if it ends at around the same time Dark Cloud 1 did, it might actually. We'll see. And then that Thursday, I may have a collab set up. We'll see. I need to talk to some people and see what they're doing next week still. I had talked to at least one person, but they're busy next week. So that one's off the table. We'll see how the whole thing ends up playing out, though. So I'll get that timer started while I finish my thoughts. Which really there ain't that many other thoughts to finish right now. So thank you all so much for taking the time to be here. Be good to Squeaky, she's good people, and I'll see y'all next time. Good night, everybody.